Ladies and gentlemen, seekers of the hidden truths within the human soul, we gather here today to delve into the profound depths of the psyche, exploring a concept that is both ancient and ever present in our modern lives. We are here to unravel the enigmatic nature of narcissism, a force that captivates and ensnares, yet often remains shrouded in mystery. The warning that Carl Jung himself might have issued resonates deeply within this context. Narcissists are addicted to the power you do not know you possess. To begin, we must first understand what we mean by narcissism. It is not merely self-love or vanity, as some might simplistically define it. In the realm of Jungian psychology, narcissism is a complex interplay of archetypes, the masks we wear and the shadows we cast. It is a dance between the conscious self and the unconscious forces that drive our behavior. Narcissism, in its most profound form, is a reflection of the inner turmoil and the quest for identity that each of us undertakes. Imagine, if you will, the myth of Narcissus, a tale from ancient lore that speaks to the heart of this matter. Narcissus, enamored by his own reflection, becomes ensnared in the illusory beauty of his image. But what does this myth really tell us? It is not merely a story of self-obsession, but rather a cautionary tale of the dangers inherent in losing oneself to the ego's seductive allure. Narcissus is not just a character, but an archetype, a symbol of the eternal struggle between the self and the image. The self projects in the realm of the unconscious. This struggle is mirrored by the shadow, a concept I have long explored. The shadow represents the parts of ourselves we refuse to acknowledge, the darker aspects that remain hidden from the light of consciousness. Narcissists, in their relentless pursuit of validation and power, often cast a long shadow, projecting their insecurities and fears onto others. They are masters of illusion, weaving narratives that uphold their fragile sense of superiority. It is here that we find the power you do not know you possess. Narcissists sense this power, even if you do not. It is the power of authenticity, of being grounded in one's true self, unencumbered by the need for external validation. This power is not easily defined, for it is not rooted in tangible achievements or accolades. Instead, it is the quiet strength that arises from self-awareness and acceptance, from the integration of the conscious and unconscious mind. To comprehend this power, let us turn our gaze inward, to the realm of dreams and symbols, where the unconscious speaks in a language all its own. Dreams, as I have often said, are the royal road to the unconscious. They reveal the hidden desires, fears, and potentials that lie dormant within us. Consider the dream of a vast ocean, a depth infathomable, representing the vastness of the unconscious mind. Within its waters, we may encounter creatures both wondrous and terrifying, manifestations of our inner world. The narcissist, whether aware or unaware, is drawn to these depths, seeking to harness the power within. Yet, in doing so, they often fall prey to the very illusions they create. They seek to control and manipulate, to bend reality to their will, failing to realize that true power lies not in domination, but in harmony with one's inner self. The narcissist's addiction to power is, at its core, a reflection of their disconnection from their own authenticity. As we journey deeper into this exploration, let us consider the role of archetypes, those universal symbols and themes that transcend time and culture: the hero, the sage, the lover, and the shadow. These are but a few of the archetypes that shape our experiences and perceptions. The narcissist often assumes the guise of the hero or the sage, projecting an image of strength and wisdom, yet beneath this facade lies the shadow. The unacknowledged aspects of the self that cry out for recognition. In our interactions with narcissists, we may find ourselves drawn into their orbit, compelled by their charisma and confidence, yet it is crucial to remain vigilant, to recognize the power dynamics at play. We must awaken to the strength within us, the power that narcissists seek to tap into, often without our awareness. This power is not aggressive or domineering. It is the quiet assurance of knowing oneself, of standing firm in one's values and beliefs. As we continue this exploration, let us not forget the role of the collective unconscious, the shared wellspring of human experience from which archetypes emerge. It is here that we find the interconnectedness of all humanity, the threads that bind us to one another. The narcissist, in their quest for power, often overlooks this fundamental truth, seeking instead to elevate themselves above others. Yet, true power is not found in isolation, but in connection, in the ability to empathize and understand the experiences of others. In this journey of self-discovery, we must confront the shadow within us, the parts of ourselves we fear to acknowledge. It is in this confrontation that we uncover the power to transform, to transcend the limitations of the ego and embrace the fullness of our being. The narcissist, too, has the potential for transformation should they choose to embark on this path of self-awareness and growth. Let us, therefore, embrace the wisdom of the unconscious, the teachings of dreams and symbols, as we seek to understand the power we hold within. It is a power that defies definition, that exists beyond the realm of the tangible. It is the power of authenticity, of being true to oneself, of living in harmony with the world around us. It is a power that, once recognized, cannot be taken away, for it is an integral part of who we are. As we conclude this part of our journey, I invite you to reflect on the power within you, the power that narcissists unknowingly seek. It is a power rooted in self-awareness, in the integration of the conscious and unconscious mind. It is a power that, when harnessed, can lead to profound personal transformation and a deeper understanding of the world around us. Let us continue this exploration, for there is much more to uncover, too much more to learn, as we delve into the mysteries of the human soul. As we venture further into the labyrinths of the psyche, let us turn our attention to the intricate dance between the conscious ego and the vast, often uncharted territories of the unconscious mind. This dynamic interplay is the crucible in which the self is forged, a perpetual process of becoming that defines the human experience. Narcissism, in its most insidious form, thrives in the shadowy spaces where this dialogue is silenced, where the ego reigns supreme and the whispers of the unconscious go unheard. Consider, for a moment, the image of the alchemist's workshop, a place where base metals are transformed into gold, where the mundane is transmuted into the divine. This alchemical process serves as a powerful metaphor for personal transformation, a journey from ignorance to enlightenment. The narcissist, however, is often trapped at the beginning of this journey, enthralled by the glittering promise of power and admiration that the ego offers. They remain fixated on the surface, unable or unwilling to delve deeper into the rich tapestry of the unconscious, where true wisdom resides. To break free from this illusory prison, we must cultivate a dialogue with our inner selves, a conversation that transcends the superficiality of the ego's demands. This requires a willingness to confront the shadow, to integrate the aspects of ourselves that we have long denied or suppressed. It is a journey fraught with challenges, for the shadow is not easily tamed. It is a repository of our deepest fears and desires, a reflection of the parts of ourselves we would rather not see. Yet, within this shadow lies the potential for profound healing and transformation. By acknowledging and embracing our shadow, we reclaim the power that the narcissist seeks to exploit. We become whole, no longer fragmented by the divisions imposed by the ego. This integration of the conscious and unconscious mind is the essence of individuation, the process by which we become our true selves. As we engage in this inner work, we must also be mindful of the archetypes that influence our perceptions and behaviors. These archetypes, universal symbols that resonate across cultures and time, shape the narratives we live by. They are the heroes and villains of our personal myths, the guides and obstacles on our journey of self-discovery. In the context of narcissism, the archetype of the tyrant often looms large, a figure who seeks control and dominance at the expense of others. To counter this archetype, we must call upon the energies of the healer and the sage, those aspects of ourselves that embody wisdom, compassion, and empathy. These archetypes remind us of the interconnectedness of all things, the truth that true power lies not in subjugation, but in understanding and connection. By cultivating these qualities within ourselves, we undermine the narcissist's hold over us, for they cannot control what they do not understand. In the realm of dreams, we find another avenue for exploring the depths of the unconscious. Dreams are the language of the soul, a bridge between the conscious and unconscious realms. They offer insights and revelations, messages from the depths that can guide us on our path. The narcissist, however, often dismisses the significance of dreams, viewing them as mere flights of fancy rather than windows into the soul. To embrace the wisdom of dreams is to embrace the mystery of life itself. It is to recognize that there are forces at work within us that defy rational explanation, that there is a deeper order to the chaos of existence. By paying attention to our dreams, we open ourselves to the guidance of the unconscious, allowing it to inform and enrich our conscious lives. In this journey of self-discovery, we must also be vigilant against the seduction of the ego. The ego is a master of deception, weaving narratives that reinforce its sense of superiority and control. It is adept at projecting its own flaws onto others, deflecting blame and responsibility. The narcissist, in particular, is skilled in this art, creating a facade of confidence and charisma that masks their inner turmoil. To navigate this landscape, we must cultivate discernment, the ability to see through the illusions of the ego and recognize the truth that lies beneath. This requires courage and humility, a willingness to confront our own shortcomings and embrace the totality of our being. It is a process of continual self-examination, a commitment to growth and transformation. As we continue our exploration, let us not forget the power of connection, the bonds that unite us as human beings. Narcissism, in its quest for power and control, offered isolated individuals, cutting them off from the rich tapestry of relationships that sustain and nurture us. Yet, it is in these connections that we find true strength, the power to heal and transform by fostering empathy and compassion, by reaching out to others with an open heart. We undermine the narcissist's power, for they thrive on division and discord. In the embrace of community, we find the support and understanding that allows us to confront our shadows and integrate the disparate parts of ourselves. In conclusion, the power you do not know you possess is a power rooted in authenticity, in the integration of the conscious and unconscious mind. It is a power that transcends the superficial allure of the ego, that embraces the mystery and complexity of the human soul. As we journey together into the depths of the psyche, let us hold fast to this power, for it is our greatest ally in the quest for self-discovery and transformation. Let us continue to explore, to learn, and to grow, for the journey is far from over, and the mysteries of the soul await our discovery. As we delve deeper into the enigmatic terrain of the psyche, let us consider the delicate balance between the conscious self and the vast, untamed wilderness of the unconscious. This balance is not a static state, but a dynamic process, an ongoing dance that requires our attention and care. Within this dance lies the potential for both profound creativity and destructive imbalance, particularly in the presence of narcissistic tendencies that seek to disrupt this harmony. Imagine the psyche as a great symphony, a composition of diverse elements that must be orchestrated to create harmony. Each aspect of ourselves, our thoughts, emotions, desire, and fears plays a part in this grand performance. The narcissist, however, is like a conductor who has lost touch with the music, seeking to impose their will without regard for the delicate interplay of the instruments. They attempt to dominate the symphony, to bend it to their own desires, often resulting in discord and chaos. To restore harmony, we must first attune ourselves to the rhythms of the unconscious, to listen to the music that arises from within. This requires a willingness to explore the depths of our being, to confront the shadows that dwell there, and to embrace the light that emerges from this exploration. It is a journey that demands courage, for the unconscious is a realm of both wonder and terror, a place where the boundaries of the self dissolve, and we are confronted with the mysteries of existence. In this exploration, we are guided by the archetypes, those universal patterns that shape our experiences and perceptions. These archetypes are the threads that weave the fabric of our inner world, the symbols that convey meaning and insight. The narcissist, ensnared by the archetype of the tyrant or the hero, often fails to recognize the richness of these patterns, clinging instead to a singular, narrow vision of power and control. To counter this, we must cultivate a relationship with the archetypes that nurture our growth and transformation. The healer, the sage, and the lover are but a few of the archetypes that offer guidance and support on our journey. They remind us of the interconnectedness of all things, of the truth that our power lies not in domination, but in understanding and empathy. Consider the archetype of the alchemist, a figure who embodies the transformative potential within each of us. The alchemist is a seeker of wisdom, a practitioner of the ancient art of transmutation. Through the alchemist's lens, we learn to view the challenges and conflicts we encounter as opportunities for growth, as raw materials to be refined and purified. The narcissist, in their quest for power, often overlooks this alchemical potential, seeking instead the fleeting satisfaction of external validation. Yet it is through the process of inner transformation that we discover the true power that lies within us. This power is not a force to be wielded over others, but a source of strength and resilience that enables us to navigate the complexities of life with grace and wisdom. It is a power that emerges from the integration of the conscious and unconscious mind, from the reconciliation of the opposites within us. As we journey through this landscape, let us not forget the role of dreams, those nocturnal voyages into the depths of the unconscious. Dreams are the language of the soul, a means of communication between the conscious self and the hidden realms of the psyche. They offer insights and revelations, messages from the depths that can illuminate our path and guide our growth. To embrace the wisdom of dreams is to engage in a dialogue with the unconscious, to open ourselves to the guidance it offers. This requires a willingness to listen, to interpret the symbols and images that arise in our dreams, and to integrate their lessons into our waking lives. The narcissist, in their pursuit of control, often dismisses the significance of dreams, viewing them as mere fantasies rather than gateways to the soul. In cultivating this dialogue, we come to understand the interconnectedness of all things, the web of relationships that bind us to one another and to the world around us. This understanding is a source of profound power, for it enables us to transcend the limitations of the ego and embrace the fullness of our being. It is a power that the narcissist, in their isolation cannot fully comprehend or exploit. As we continue this exploration, let us also consider the role of the collective unconscious, that vast reservoir of shared human experience from which archetypes emerge. It is here that we find the common threads that unite us as a species, the shared symbols and narratives that shape our history and our future. The narcissist, in their quest for individual supremacy, often overlooks this fundamental truth, seeking instead to elevate themselves above the collective. Yet, it is in our connection to the collective unconscious that we find true power, the power to heal and transform not only ourselves but the world around us. By embracing this connection, by recognizing the shared humanity that binds us together, we undermine the narcissist's power, for they thrive on division and discord. In unity, we find strength. In empathy, we find understanding. In conclusion, the journey of self-discovery is one of continual exploration and growth, a process of becoming that defies easy answers and simple solutions. It is a journey that requires courage and commitment, a willingness to confront the shadows within us and embrace the light that emerges from this exploration. As we navigate the complexities of the psyche, let us hold fast to the power within us. The power that lies in authenticity, in the integration of the conscious and unconscious mind. Let us continue to explore, to learn, and to grow, for the journey is far from over, and the mysteries of the soul await our discovery. As we traverse further into the depths of this exploration, let us pause to consider the profound implications of individuation, the process by which one becomes an autonomous, fully realized self. Individuation is not a destination, but a journey, a continuous unfolding of the self that integrates both the conscious and unconscious elements of the psyche. It is a path that requires us to confront not only our own shadows, but also the collective shadows of humanity. Narcissism, with its focus on the self to the exclusion of others, presents a significant obstacle on this path. The narcissist, in their relentless pursuit of admiration and power, often remains trapped in a cycle of self-deception, unable to see beyond the confines of their own ego. They are like a traveler who mistakes the map for the territory, unable to recognize the richness and diversity of the landscape beyond their narrow perspective. To break free from this cycle, we must cultivate a deeper awareness of the self, an understanding that transcends the superficial illusions of the ego. This requires a willingness to engage in introspection, to examine the motivations and desires that drive our behavior. It is a process of peeling back the layers of the self, uncovering the core truths that lie hidden beneath the surface. In this process, dreams serve as invaluable guides, offering glimpses into the hidden recesses of the psyche. They reveal the conflicts and contradictions that reside within us, the unacknowledged desires and fears that influence our actions. By attending to our dreams, by interpreting their symbols and messages, we gain insight into the unconscious forces that shape our lives. Consider, for instance, the dream of a labyrinth, an intricate maze that represents the complexity of the psyche, Within this labyrinth, we may encounter both monsters and treasures, manifestations of the shadow and the self, the narcissist, in their quest for control, often becomes lost in this labyrinth, unable to navigate its twists and turns. Yet, by embracing the journey, by trusting in the process of exploration and discovery, we can find our way through the maze, emerging on the other side transformed. In addition to dreams, the practice of active imagination can also serve as a powerful tool for engaging with the unconscious. This technique involves entering into a dialogue with the figures and symbols that arise from the depths, allowing them to speak and reveal their wisdom. It is a creative process that encourages us to explore the unknown, to venture beyond the boundaries of the rational mind. Through active imagination, we can confront the shadow directly, engaging with the parts of ourselves that we have long denied or suppressed. This confrontation is not a battle, but a negotiation, a process of integration that seeks to harmonize the disparate elements of the self. The narcissist, in their fear of vulnerability, often shies away from this process, clinging instead to the safety of their constructed persona. Yet it is in vulnerability that we find true strength, the courage to face our own imperfections and embrace the fullness of our humanity. By acknowledging our shadows, by integrating them into our conscious awareness, we reclaim the power that the narcissist seeks to exploit. We become whole, no longer fragmented by the divisions imposed by the ego. As we continue this journey, let us also reflect on the importance of community, the web of relationships that sustains and nurtures us. Narcissism, in its focus on the self, of the isolates, individuals, cutting them off from the rich tapestry of connections that give life meaning and purpose. Yet, it is in community that we find healing and support, the strength to confront our shadows and grow. By fostering empathy and compassion, by reaching out to others with an open heart, we create a space for transformation, both within ourselves and in the world around us. We build bridges of understanding that transcend the barriers of fear and mistrust, forging connections that empower and uplift. In this shared journey of individuation, we are reminded of the interconnectedness of all things, of the truth that our individual transformation is inextricably linked to the collective well-being. As we work to heal ourselves, we contribute to the healing of the greater whole, creating a ripple effect that extends beyond the boundaries of the self. In conclusion, the path of individuation is a journey of discovery and transformation, a process that requires us to engage with the depths of our being and embrace the fullness of our humanity. It is a journey that calls us to confront our shadows, to integrate the conscious and unconscious mind, and to cultivate a deeper understanding of the self. As we navigate this path, let us hold fast to the power within us, the power that lies in authenticity, in the courage to be vulnerable and open. Let us continue to explore, to learn, and to grow, for the journey is far from over. and the mysteries of the soul await our discovery. In the embrace of this journey, we find the power to transform not only ourselves, but the world around us, creating a future that is rooted in understanding, empathy, and connection. As we continue our exploration into the depths of the human psyche, let us turn our attention to the profound interplay between the individual and the collective consciousness. This interplay is a dynamic dance, a symbiotic relationship that shapes our perceptions, beliefs, and behaviors in ways both seen and unseen. In this context, the narcissist often represents a distortion of this relationship, a figure who becomes entangled in the web of their own self-created illusions, disconnected from the greater whole. The collective unconscious, a concept I have long championed, is the repository of shared human experience, a vast ocean of symbols, myths, and archetypes that transcend the individual and connect us to the broader tapestry of humanity. Within this ocean, we find the raw materials for our personal myths, the narratives that give meaning and structure to our lives. The narcissist, however, often remains adrift in this sea, unable or unwilling to tap into the deeper currents that flow beneath the surface. To navigate these waters, we must cultivate an awareness of the archetypes that inform our experiences, those universal patterns that resonate within the collective unconscious. These archetypes are the building blocks of the soul, the templates upon which our personal and collective narratives are constructed. They are the heroes, mentors, and adversaries that populate our inner world, guiding us on our journey of self-discovery and growth. Consider the archetype of the hero, a figure that appears in myriad forms across cultures and epochs. The hero's journey is a timeless tale of transformation, a quest for self-realization that mirrors our own struggles and triumphs. The narcissist, in their quest for admiration and validation, often assumes the guise of the hero, projecting an image of strength and confidence that belies their inner insecurity. Yet, the true hero's journey is not one of conquest, but of integration, a process of reconciling the opposites within us and embracing the totality of our being. It is a journey that requires us to confront the shadow, to face the fears and doubts that lurk in the recesses of the unconscious. By doing so, we uncover the power and wisdom that lie hidden within, the inner resources that enable us to navigate the complexities of life with grace and resilience. In this journey, we are also guided by the archetype of the mentor, a figure who embodies wisdom and insight, offering guidance and support as we navigate the challenges of the path. The mentor archetype reminds us of the importance of seeking and sharing knowledge, of the value of learning from those who have walked the path before us. By embracing the wisdom of the mentor, we open ourselves to new perspectives and possibilities, expanding our understanding of the world and our place within it. As we engage with these archetypes, we must remain vigilant against the siren call of the ego, that aspect of the self that seeks to control and dominate. The ego is a master of illusion, weaving narratives that reinforce its sense of superiority and separation. The narcissist ensnared by the ego's seductive allure, often becomes trapped in a cycle of self-aggrandizement, unable to see beyond the confines of their own desires. To transcend this cycle, we must cultivate humility and openness, a willingness to question our assumptions and beliefs. This requires a commitment to self-reflection, to examining the motivations and desires that drive our actions. By doing so, we dismantle the illusions of the ego, revealing the deeper truths that lie beneath the surface. In this process, the practice of mindfulness can serve as a powerful tool, a means of cultivating awareness of the present moment and the inner workings of the mind. Mindfulness invites us to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment, to engage with them with curiosity and compassion. It is a practice that fosters self-awareness, enabling us to recognize the patterns and habits that shape our behavior. By embracing mindfulness, we create a space for transformation, a space where we can confront the shadows within us and integrate the disparate elements of the self. It is a practice that empowers us to break free from the constraints of the ego, to embrace the fullness of our humanity and the interconnectedness of all things. As we journey through this landscape, let us also reflect on the role of creativity, the capacity to imagine and create new possibilities. Creativity is a vital force within the psyche, a wellspring of innovation and inspiration that fuels our growth and development. The narcissist, in their quest for validation, often stifles this creative potential, seeking instead the safety of conformity and control. Yet, it is through creativity that we discover new ways of being and knowing, that we transcend the limitations of the ego and open ourselves to the infinite possibilities of the universe. By nurturing our creative spirit, by embracing the unknown and the uncertain, we tap into the power of the collective unconscious, drawing upon the wisdom and insight that reside within. In conclusion, the journey of self-discovery is a journey of integration and transformation, a process that requires us to engage with the archetypes and symbols that shape our experiences. It is a journey that calls us to confront the shadows within us, to embrace the power of creativity and the interconnectedness of all things. As we navigate this path, let us hold fast to the power within us, the power that lies in authenticity and openness. Let us continue to explore, to learn, and to grow, for the journey is far from over, and the mysteries of the soul await our discovery as we delve further into the intricacies of the human psyche. Let us consider the transformative power of facing the unknown, a theme that resonates deeply within the framework of Jungian psychology. The unknown is not merely an external frontier, but an internal landscape, a realm where the potential for growth and discovery lies dormant, awaiting our exploration. It is within this territory that we encounter the profound and often unsettling presence of the shadow, a key component of our journey towards individuation. The shadow, as I have articulated in my work, represents the aspects of our personality that we reject or deny, those traits and impulses that clash with our self-image. These are not inherently negative, but are rendered so by their suppression. The narcissist, in particular, is adept at projecting these unwanted aspects onto others, creating a distorted reality that reinforces their inflated self-perception. They construct a facade of perfection, a house of mirrors that reflects only what they wish to see. To transcend this illusion, we must engage in the courageous act of shadow work, a conscious effort to integrate these disowned parts of ourselves. This process is akin to descending into the depths of a cavern where the light of awareness illuminates the darkness, revealing the hidden treasures within. It is a journey that requires honesty and humility, a willingness to confront the discomfort that arises from self-examination. In the realm of dreams, the shadow often appears in symbolic form, manifesting as figures or scenarios that challenge our conscious understanding. These dream symbols serve as guides, pointing us towards the areas of our psyche that require attention and integration. By engaging with our dreams, by interpreting their messages, we gain valuable insights into the dynamics of our inner world and the potential for transformation that lies therein. The integration of the shadow is a crucial step in the process of individuation, as it allows us to become whole, embracing the totality of our being. It is through this integration that we access the power of authenticity, the ability to live in accordance with our true selves, unencumbered by the masks we wear. This authenticity is the antidote to the narcissist's addiction to power, for it is rooted in self-awareness and acceptance, rather than external validation. As we explore the depths of the psyche, let us also consider the role of the anima and animus, those inner counterparts that represent the feminine and masculine aspects of our nature. These archetypes are essential components of our identity, influencing our relationships and our capacity for love and empathy. The narcissist, in their quest for dominance, often neglects the development of these inner figures, resulting in a lopsided personality that struggles to connect with others on a deep and meaningful level. To foster balance and harmony, we must cultivate a relationship with the anima and animus, recognizing their presence within us and integrating their qualities into our conscious awareness. This requires an openness to the fluidity of gender and identity, an acceptance of the complexities of the human experience. By doing so, we enrich our understanding of ourselves and our capacity to relate to others, transcending the limitations imposed by rigid societal norms. In our journey towards self-realization, we are also called to engage with the concept of synchronicity, those meaningful coincidences that illuminate the interconnectedness of all things. Synchronicity serves as a reminder that our lives are woven into a larger tapestry, that the events and experiences we encounter are not isolated occurrences, but part of a greater whole. The narcissist, in their self-centered worldview, often overlooks these connections, focusing instead on their own immediate desires and goals. By tuning ourselves to the subtle currents of synchronicity, we open ourselves to the guidance of the universe, allowing it to inform and direct our path. This requires a shift in perception, a willingness to see beyond the surface and embrace the mystery of existence It is a practice that fosters humility and gratitude, reminding us of the beauty and wonder that pervades our lives. As we navigate the complexities of the psyche, let us also reflect on the importance of cultivating a sense of purpose, a guiding star that directs our actions and decisions. Purpose is not a static goal, but a dynamic process, an evolving understanding of our place in the world and the contributions we are meant to make. The narcissist, in their pursuit of personal gain, often loses sight of this greater purpose, becoming ensnared in a cycle of self-interest and superficiality. To discover our purpose, we must listen to the whispers of our soul, to the passions and interests that ignite our spirit and inspire our actions. This requires a willingness to follow our intuition, to trust the inner voice that guides us towards fulfillment and meaning. By aligning our actions with our purpose, we create a life that is rich in significance and joy, a life that resonates with the truth of who we are. In conclusion, the journey of self-discovery is a multifaceted exploration of the psyche, a process that requires us to engage with the shadow, anima and animus, synchronicity and purpose. It is a journey that calls us to embrace the unknown, to integrate the disparate elements of the self, and to cultivate a deeper understanding of our place in the universe. As we continue this journey, let us hold fast to the power within us, the power that lies in authenticity and connection. Let us continue to explore, to learn, and to grow, for the journey is far from over, and the mysteries of the soul await our discovery. As we continue our journey into the depths of the psyche, let us consider the significance of the self, the central archetype in Jungian psychology that represents the totality of the personality. The self is not merely the sum of the ego and the unconscious, but a transcendent entity that encompasses and unifies all aspects of the psyche. It is both the goal and the guide of individuation, the process by which we strive to become whole. The self is often symbolized in dreams and myths as a mandala, a circular design that represents unity and completeness. These symbols serve as powerful reminders of our innate potential for integration and harmony, urging us to transcend the dualistic nature of the ego and embrace the interconnectedness of all things. The narcissist, in their obsession with the ego, often remains unaware of the greater self, perceiving life through a narrow, fragmented lens. To cultivate a relationship with the self, we must embark on a path of surrender, relinquishing the illusions of control and embracing the flow of life. This surrender is not a passive resignation, but an active engagement with the unfolding mystery of existence. It requires us to trust in the wisdom of the unconscious, to allow the deeper currents of the psyche to guide us towards wholeness. In this process, we are often confronted with the tension of opposites, the polarities that exist within us and in the world around us. These opposites, light and dark, masculine and feminine, conscious and unconscious, are not mutually exclusive, but complementary forces that contribute to the dynamism and vitality of the psyche. The narcissist, in their quest for dominance, often seeks to suppress or deny these opposites, creating an internal conflict that stifles growth and transformation. By embracing the tension of opposites, we open ourselves to the creative potential that arises from their integration. This integration is akin to the alchemical process of conjunctio, the sacred marriage of opposites that results in the birth of a new, transformed self. It is a process that requires patience and perseverance, a willingness to endure the discomfort of ambiguity and uncertainty. As we navigate this path, we are guided by the inner voice of intuition, a subtle yet powerful force that connects us to the wisdom of the self. Intuition is the language of the soul, a means of accessing knowledge that transcends the limitations of the rational mind. It is an inner compass that directs us towards our true path, helping us to navigate the complexities of life with clarity and insight. The narcissist, in their reliance on the intellect, often dismisses the value of intuition, preferring instead the certainty of logic and reason. Yet, it is through intuition that we access the deeper truths of our existence, the insights that cannot be articulated through words alone. By trusting in our intuitive capacities, we cultivate a deeper connection to the self, allowing it to guide us towards fulfillment and meaning. In this journey of self-discovery, we must also confront the existential questions that arise from our exploration of the psyche. Questions of identity, purpose, and mortality are inextricable from the human experience, prompting us to seek understanding and meaning in a world that often appears chaotic and unpredictable. The narcissist, in their avoidance of vulnerability, often shies away from these questions, seeking instead the superficial comforts of power and prestige. Yet, it is in the confrontation with these questions that we uncover the essence of our humanity, the truths that lie at the core of our being. By engaging with these existential dilemmas, we deepen our understanding of ourselves and our place in the universe, fostering a sense of connection and purpose that transcends the individual self. As we journey through this landscape, let us also consider the role of creativity in the process of individuation. Creativity is not merely a means of artistic expression, but a fundamental aspect of the psyche, a force that drives innovation and transformation. The narcissist, in their quest for control, often stifles their creative potential, adhering to rigid structures and conventions that limit the scope of their imagination. To unleash our creative potential, we must cultivate a spirit of playfulness and experimentation, a willingness to explore the unknown and embrace the unexpected. Creativity invites us to engage with the world in new and innovative ways, to challenge the status quo and envision new possibilities. By nurturing our creative spirit, we tap into the transformative power of the self, allowing it to manifest in our lives in dynamic and meaningful ways. In conclusion, the journey towards the self is a journey of integration and transformation, a process that requires us to embrace the tension of opposites, trust in our intuition, and engage with the existential questions that shape our lives. It is a journey that calls us to unleash our creative potential, to transcend the limitations of the ego, and to cultivate a deeper connection to the self As we continue this exploration, let us remain open to the mysteries of the psyche, the insights and revelations that arise from our engagement with the unconscious. Let us hold fast to the power within us, the power that lies in authenticity, creativity, and connection. Let us continue to explore, to learn, and to grow, for the journey is far from over. And the mysteries of the soul await our discovery as we further immerse ourselves in the rich tapestry of the unconscious. Let us delve into the profound significance of symbols, those enigmatic carriers of meaning that bridge the conscious and unconscious realms. Symbols are the language of the psyche, a means by which the unconscious communicates its wisdom and insight. They are the vessels through which the mysteries of the soul are revealed, the keys that unlock the doors to deeper understanding and awareness. In the realm of dreams, symbols emerge in myriad forms, offering glimpses into the hidden dimensions of the psyche. A serpent may slither through the corridors of our dreams, embodying both fear and renewal, a symbol of the transformative power of the unconscious. A towering mountain may rise before us, representing the challenges and aspirations that mark our journey towards self-realization. These symbols are not fixed in their meaning, but are dynamic and multifaceted, inviting us to engage with them on multiple levels. The narcissist, in their pursuit of certainty and control, often overlooks the subtle nuances of symbols, preferring instead the concrete and the literal. Yet, it is in the symbolic realm that we encounter the richness and complexity of the human experience. The layers of meaning that defy simplistic interpretation. By engaging with symbols, by allowing them to speak to us in their own language, we open ourselves to the wisdom of the unconscious, the insights that reside beyond the reach of the rational mind. This engagement requires a willingness to embrace ambiguity, to tolerate the uncertainty that arises from exploring the unknown. It is a process of surrender, a relinquishment of the ego's desire for control and mastery. In this surrender, we discover the power of receptivity, the capacity to listen and learn from the deeper currents of the psyche. It is a power that the narcissist, in their relentless quest for dominance, often fails to recognize or cultivate. As we navigate the symbolic landscape of the unconscious, let us also consider the role of myth, those timeless stories that encapsulate the collective wisdom of humanity. Myths are the vessels of archetypal truth, narratives that resonate with the universal themes and patterns that shape our lives. They are the mirrors in which we glimpse the eternal struggles and triumphs of the human soul. The hero's journey, a mythic motif that appears across cultures, offers a powerful framework for understanding the process of individuation. It is a journey that involves separation, initiation, and return, a cycle of departure and homecoming that mirrors our own path towards self-realization. The narcissist, enamored with their own reflection, often becomes stuck in the initial stages of this journey, unable to progress beyond the call to adventure. To embark on the hero's journey is to embrace the unknown, to venture into the wilderness of the psyche, and confront the challenges that await. It is a journey that demands courage and resilience, a willingness to face the dragons that guard the treasures of the soul. These dragons are the shadow aspects of ourselves, the fears and doubts that we must overcome to achieve integration and wholeness. In the context of the hero's journey, the return is a critical stage, a reintegration of the transformed self into the fabric of life. It is a return that brings with it the boon of wisdom and insight, a gift that enriches not only the individual but the community as a whole. The narcissist, in their isolation, often fails to complete the stage, depriving themselves and others of the fruits of their journey. As we reflect on the significance of myth and symbol, let us also consider the importance of ritual, those sacred practices that connect us to the rhythm of the cosmos and the cycles of nature. Rituals are the anchors that ground us in the present moment, the containers that hold the energies of transformation and renewal. They are the bridges that span the chasm between the mundane and the sacred, inviting us to participate in the dance of life. In our modern world, the role of ritual has often been diminished, overshadowed by the demands of a fast-paced, technologically driven society. The narcissist, in their pursuit of individual achievement, may dismiss the value of ritual, viewing it as an antiquated relic of a bygone era. Yet, it is through ritual that we find a sense of belonging and purpose, a connection to the greater whole that nourishes and sustains us. By reclaiming the power of ritual, by creating spaces for reflection and celebration, we honor the cycles of life and the passage of time. We acknowledge the transitions and thresholds that mark our journey, the rites of passage that guide us from one stage of life to the next. In doing so, we cultivate a deeper awareness of the sacred, a recognition of the divine presence that permeates all things. In conclusion, the exploration of the psyche is a journey of discovery and transformation, a process that invites us to engage with the symbols, myths, and rituals that shape our understanding of ourselves and the world. It is a journey that challenges us to embrace the unknown, to integrate the shadow, and to cultivate a deeper connection to the self. As we continue this exploration, let us remain open to the mysteries of the soul, the insights and revelations that arise from our engagement with the unconscious. Let us hold fast to the power within us, the power that lies in authenticity, creativity, and connection. Let us continue to explore, to learn, and to grow, for the journey is far from over, and the mysteries of the soul await our discovery. As we journey further into the depths of our exploration, let us reflect upon the role of the inner child, a vital aspect of the psyche that embodies our capacity for wonder, creativity, and spontaneity. The inner child is not merely a relic of our past, but a living presence within us, a source of vitality and joy that can infuse our lives with meaning and fulfillment. It represents the part of us that remains open to the mysteries of the world, unencumbered by the defenses and constraints that often accompany adulthood. For the narcissist, the inner child is often neglected or overshadowed by the demands of the ego. The relentless pursuit of validation and power can stifle the innocence and curiosity that define this aspect of the self, leading to a disconnection from the authentic sources of happiness and fulfillment. To reconnect with the inner child is to rediscover the capacity for play, the ability to engage with life in a way that is both joyful and transformative. Engaging with the inner child requires us to cultivate a sense of playfulness, a willingness to experiment and explore without fear of judgment or failure. It is an invitation to embrace the present moment, to experience life with the same sense of wonder and awe that we did as children. This engagement is not a regression, but a return to a state of openness and receptivity, a reclaiming of the parts of ourselves that have been lost or forgotten. In the process of individuation, the integration of the inner child is a crucial step, for it allows us to access the deep well of creativity and intuition that resides within us. By nurturing this aspect of the self, we open ourselves to new possibilities, new ways of being, and knowing that enrich our lives and expand our horizons. The inner child is a powerful ally in our journey towards wholeness, a reminder of the joy and beauty that exist within and around us. As we reconnect with the inner child, let us also consider the importance of self-compassion, the practice of treating ourselves with kindness and understanding. Self-compassion is a balm for the wounds of the psyche, a healing force that allows us to embrace our imperfections and vulnerabilities without judgment or shame. It is a practice that fosters resilience and courage, enabling us to face the challenges of life with grace and equanimity. The narcissist, in their quest for perfection, often struggles with self-compassion, viewing vulnerability as a weakness rather than a strength. Yet, it is through the practice of self-compassion that we cultivate a deeper connection to the self, a recognition of our shared humanity and the interconnectedness of all things. By treating ourselves with kindness, we create a foundation of support and strength that empowers us to navigate the complexities of life. In this journey of self-discovery, let us also reflect on the significance of gratitude, the practice of acknowledging and appreciating the gifts and blessings that permeate our lives. Gratitude is a transformative force, a lens through which we perceive the world with clarity and appreciation. It shifts our focus from scarcity to abundance, from what we lack to what we have. The narcissist, in their insatiable quest for more, often overlooks the power of gratitude, focusing instead on what they perceive as missing or lacking. Yet, it is through the practice of gratitude that we cultivate a sense of contentment and fulfillment, a recognition of the richness and abundance that exist within and around us. By acknowledging the gifts of the present moment, we open ourselves to the flow of life, allowing its currents to guide us towards fulfillment and joy. As we continue our exploration, let us also consider the role of relationships in the process of individuation. Relationships are the mirrors in which we see ourselves reflected, the crucibles in which we confront our shadows and develop our capacity for love and empathy. They are the spaces in which we learn to navigate the tension of opposites, balancing the needs of the self with the needs of others. For the narcissist, relationships can be challenging as the focus on the self often leads to a disconnection from the needs and experiences of others. Yet, it is through relationships that we cultivate the qualities of empathy and compassion, the capacities that enable us to connect with others on a deep and meaningful level. By engaging with others with an open heart, we create the conditions for growth and transformation, both within ourselves and in the world around us. In conclusion, the journey of self-discovery is a multifaceted exploration of the psyche, a process that requires us to engage with the inner child, practice self-compassion, cultivate gratitude, and nurture relationships. It is a journey that challenges us to embrace the unknown, to integrate the disparate elements of the self, and to cultivate a deeper connection to the self. As we continue this exploration, let us remain open to the mysteries of the soul, the insights and revelations that arise from our engagement with the unconscious. Let us hold fast to the power within us, the power that lies in authenticity, creativity, and connection. Let us continue to explore, to learn, and to grow, for the journey is far from over, and the mysteries of the soul await our discovery.